Well, hello, Christina. Hey, Tim. What up? What is up with everyone tonight on a Friday night? Because we don't need no turkey balls. These turkey balls don't mean a thing. We got neon balls running through our veins. Because we don't need no turkey balls. No. No. No, I wasn't mad. I just woke up. I'm not mad at nobody. I never would be. We will, sweetheart. We will. I'm gonna wait until I get to Pennsylvania and do all that. When I get to Pennsylvania, we'll talk about it then. Everything's gonna be brand new when I move to Pennsylvania, so we'll talk about it then. So what is everybody's Friday night up to tonight? Seems like it's Sunday. Oh yeah. It's getting close to moving. You know what I mean? I'm moving at the end of April, so it's getting close to it. Yeah, I just can't wait, man. You just don't even know how excited I am about this. Starting my life over new, man. I deserve it, man. I deserve a good life. All the shit I went through growing up, all the shit I went through when I was married, I deserve it. Right? Hey, Eli. When did the interview start, Eli? Did you already do the interview or did you have to cancel it out? What? What are you talking about, Eli? They canceled both their excuse. So paranormal stuff's canceled it out. Damn, I'm sorry to hear that. That sucks. Wow. It'll take 2 hours to cut his hair? No way. It don't take no 2 hours to do somebody's hair when you ain't got much hair. Right. Exactly, Tim. It don't take no 2 hours to get your hair cut. Well, I've never heard of 2 hours on that. Not when you don't have that much hair. I know, buddy. I'm sorry to hear that. Eli, are you sure you're going to be able to do that interview on the 15th? Or are you going to cancel out? Let me know if you can't do it, bub. Are you sure? Because people seem to be canceling shit out. Yeah. Eli, you can always interview me. I mean, you can either do it now or you can wait till Pennsylvania. Thank you, Tim. Right? Yeah. Damn, man, that sucks. Yeah, but see, yeah, that's why I'm so happy because it's getting close to moving out in Pennsylvania. Jackie came up with an idea to put on my door, my bedroom door. I'm going to paint it black and put blood paint on it, make it look like blood paint. And it's going to say, do not enter dead people inside. Yeah, right? Hello?
Well, hi, Patty.
Hi.
So, how is the flirtiest eyes in YouTube doing tonight?
You're okay.
Did you see my avatar,
You're what?
my thumbnail picture?
That's on there right now?
Yeah,
Is
in
that a
the chat.
turkey?
That's a turkey. Look what's under it.
You supposed to you love that turkey thing, don't you?
Yep, those are gigantic mega turkey balls.
Right? Big old turkey, hairy turkey balls.
My friend of mine took a look at that and they said, "Wow, you gave the turkey 4 boobs." I said, "Those aren't boobs. Those are actually, have you ever seen those hanging off the back of pickup trucks?
No.
They're called truck nuts."
Oh, wow.
So I hooked it to a turkey.
Wow.
So what you got planned? Are you all packed for your move?
I'm not taking very many because I'm very stuff because I'm going to start all over. But
Mhm.
yeah, I'm going to do my son-in-law going to wait till we move in, and then he's going to paint my walls black and put like
Mhm.
red paint look on there that's like blood, and he's going to make it out of a Walking Dead scene.
That's pretty scary.
Oh, I'm good. I love Walking Dead.
Did
Um,
you did you see Jody's mansion in today's video?
no.
He just got finished painting the mansion completely black with red trim.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do to my room. I'm gonna make it out the Walking Dead theme though.
Huh?
On my front door, on my bedroom door, we're gonna paint it black, and we're gonna put like red paint on to make it look like blood, and we're gonna put "Do not enter, dead people inside, zombies."
That's pretty good. Pretty good.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna make my room as.
Okay.
I'm a Walking Dead fan. I love Walking Dead.
Well, I watched the first season of it, but because it was on pay cable, I didn't end up watching the next 9 years of it.
Well, you can actually go on Primetime Video, and you can watch all of them.
Yeah.
And Netflix. You can also go
Yeah.
on Netflix watch them.
Yep. I do have Pluto TV, and they do have Walking Dead channel, and it's 24 hours of Walking Dead, Fear of the Walking Dead, and what was the other one? It's where they go worldwide, and you see, the zombies in like China.
Yeah. Well, I think you should watch them because they are good seasons. The whole damn series is awesome. There's all the way up to season 11 because season 11's on right now. And I'm telling you, anybody have not watched Walking Dead yet, I promise you it's gonna be it's really good series.
Wow.
It's all about the zombie. It's all about surviving.
Right.
It's all about surviving from the zombies. You know what I mean?
I know what you mean. On your recommendation, I'll take another look at it.
Yeah, it's a good show. It's a good series. It's all about them trying to survive, and they got to go out and find food and defend themselves when it comes to zombies. It's all about that. It's basically about a survivor, and I think it's a darn good story.
Well, it started with that deputy guy, but he ended up getting killed off, right?
No, he didn't get killed off. He just it looks like he did, but at the end he was found. So they took him to another world, another area, and he's been off ever since.
So what happened to Michonne, the gal with the sword?
Michonne?
Yeah, the African American lady that.
Her name is Michonne. She's off the show. It took her off.
So, are you going to get yourself one of those barbed wire bats?
I'm getting all kind of stuff, babe. I promise you. You guys are going to see a whole freaking bedroom, nothing but Walking Dead. I am going to get the loose steel bat. I'm going to get it all.
Now, when you set up your house the way you want it, are you going to have a designated area for YouTube lives?
No, it's going to be in my room. I have a special area for my room, for my live.
Because, like, UGUE, Rob and Kate, they just moved, and he's having to take care of his grandma. Grandma has gotten, kind of frail. She's still with it, but she's just getting up in years, and so he's helping take care of her, which is awesome. How many grandsons do that?
Right.
And Kate just absolutely adores her, and the couple of times that I've seen her on their live streams, she is a real pip. She really tells the craziest, back of my day kind of stories, about how she walked through hip deep snow, 10 miles uphill both ways to school.
Right.
You know, and I love those kind of stories, you know. And plus, believe it or not, her house is very haunted. So I was kind of curious, is your house, new house, is it haunted?
Yes, it is.
Oh, I thought so.
Yeah, because it's in Pennsylvania, and Pennsylvania is one of the hottest most states there is.
Hmm. Well, you know why?
Yeah, because the Civil War and Native Americans. Yeah, I know.
Not just that, but the nature of it's in the middle of the Appalachians, and it's the
Mhm.
part of the Appalachians that has uh, a special structure to it that where you go ridge, valley with a creek, ridge, big river, ridge, you know, and it's almost like the hollers that you have down in Kentucky and West Virginia.
Right.
So when you get up there in the in that area up there, say north of Harrisburg, you're going to be in some very interesting country. I really want to see some good stuff that you come up with because I know you love Native Americans and uh, believe it or not, the oldest Native American presence was a cave in Pennsylvania, and it was dated to 13,500 years ago. So, you know, you have all that history.
Yeah, I can't wait to move, man. It's gonna be a whole new start of a whole new life, man.
Mhm. Now, do you own the property that the house sits on?
We only own so much of it. We're gonna be owning part of it.
Okay, well, if you have a space where you can do it, plant an oak tree.
Yeah.
The reason why is because with your background, planting an oak tree honors your ancestors and also honors the Native Americans that used to live, you know, from the maple and you know oaks and stuff like that in Pennsylvania, and that way you're giving back to the soil, and so that will help ensure a very positive stay there.
Right.
So, just thought I'd put that little bug in your ear. So, what you going to be doing this weekend yourself?
Not much really. I'm gonna probably go tomorrow.
Mm.
We'll
Well, I
film
was
somewhere. I'm gonna go to a location tomorrow, hopefully. Hey,
mm,
Professional Paranormal Research, how are you? Yeah, we're talking about going tomorrow night to film.
oh, I see.
Yeah, I don't know tomorrow more about it, but it's supposed to be in outside Cincinnati.
Oh, so that's a little bit of a drive for you.
Yeah, it's only an hour and 43 minutes away from me.
Yeah.
You
I,
know, that's not so bad because I'm used to it anyway. I mean, we legit drove from here to Florida, and that took like 18 hours.
yeah. I've driven as long as 15 hours myself in a van. I'll have to tell you that story sometime. It was amazing. It was a hilarious and sometimes really weird kind of trip. It was the first trip I took by myself,
Right,
and it's like from then on, I made sure I had somebody come with me because that way, if the weird stuff started up, you know, I had somebody with me, and I usually would take my late younger brother. he's been gone just over a year now. So it was sad because he was only 44 when he passed. But I carry on, and with his zest for life, I figure, hey, I'm an old fart, but I'm going to do what I can, how I can, even as broke down as I am now, PPR said, hello, ma'am. So he's very polite to you, Patty. So what kind of dinner did you have tonight?
I'm here. I'm so happy to give my son a ibuprofen.
Oh, lucky you! I'm out. That's why I was hoping to be going out tomorrow. But we have the cold snap. We're north and west of the huge storm that's going through the Appalachians right now. It's going to create a blizzard up in the area where Yasko is, and that'll be tomorrow afternoon when things get nasty up there for him. But we're getting down to near zero tonight, and only 25 tomorrow. But next Wednesday is going to be 66.
I know it's snowing here now.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it's snowing outside right now. It's a little cold.
Yeah, Bobby was on his stream just a few minutes before you started, and he was getting hammered. They had everything from tornadoes. He had a light pole blow up behind his house. It knocked a tree down, and so he's beside himself. You know how he's that Jersey guy, and he gets all hyper and everything. So he was going a mile a minute. Bless his heart. I mean, he's a creative guy, but he kind of runs in 9 directions all at once.
How you been doing paranormal research? How's things going with you? I hope everybody's having a good weekend so far, besides being cold.
Yep. Mine's quiet. I just need to get some ibuprofen so I can actually walk around. I don't have medicine right now that will help my back, because if I don't have ibuprofen, I can't move, basically.
Right.
Paranormal
research said we had 7 degrees weather today. Then 8 hours later, it's now 29 and snow. I feel you.
Yep. Well, PPR, welcome to spring.
Kentucky weather? Oh, so you're in Kentucky.
Well, he's not too far from you then. He's about 8 hours from me. Because I'm northwest of both of you.
Yeah.
I'm right under the nose of Iowa. They call our metro area the nostril of Iowa. And it's like I've never figured that our cities are like boogers. We're the same size as Nashville, but they get the NFL team and country music, and we get John Deere. Woo!
Why don't we do this, Tim? Why don't we switch this around a little bit? Instead of me interviewing you, why don't you interview me on my own channel right now?
Do you want to?
I think that would be cool.
All right. I can you know how it goes, and you're natural to this, because I had the pleasure of being interviewed by you.
Okay, guys. So here's the deal. Short track. is going to interview me on my own channel. So you could just say that as of right now, at this moment, he's the co-host. He's going to be interviewing me.
And I'm very honored, especially having PPR in our chat. Well, any good interview has 5 basic questions: who, what, when, where, why, and how. Okay.
Well, I'm ready whenever you're ready.
Sure. So let's answer who are you? What brought what brought you to paranormal?
Okay, my name is Peppermint Patty Hornin, and my real name is Patricia. And I've been in the paranormal pretty much my whole life, from age 7 and up. I experienced my first spirit when I was 7 years old, and I've had a lot of experience with spirits my whole life. I have ability, and I can tell you why I have my ability.
Go ahead.
My great grandmother told me when I was 16 years old that, because I told her I was seeing spirits and hearing them and stuff, and she said, "Well, we need to have a talk." So she sat me down and she was telling me that you have an ability where you can see them and hear them and stuff like that. And she was telling me about my family history, uh, about my great 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 grandmother. She made a deal with the devil and didn't fall for it, so they went to the generation, and I'm one of them. And go ahead.
No. Go ahead.
I'm one of them, and now when I was 7 years old, I was being a kid, of course, and it all started after what I'm about to tell you. I went swimming with my parents and at a pool, a public pool, and I seen my father jump off a sliding board, a 12-foot sliding board. And I shouldn't have, but I was being a kid. I wanted to try it out. So I got up there and I climbed up there and I jumped off. And I remember when I jumped off, I legit landed in the water and I felt the water hit my body. And I must have went all the way down because I don't remember nothing else after that. All I remember is that I seen, to me, it was heaven. Okay. Because it felt peaceful. I felt loved. I felt free. Like I didn't want to come back. You know what I mean? I wanted to cross over. And I heard a voice. And the voice said, "No, Patricia, it's not your time to go. I'm going to send you back. And when I send you back, you're going to have a ability where you can see spirits, hear spirits, and communicate with them. And you're also going to have a destiny to fulfill of loving everyone and caring about people and being there for people." So my uncle, that's when I woke up. Okay. And I asked my uncle what happened, and he said I drowned it. And he had to do CPR on me. And I remember waking up and coughing and water just coming out of my mouth where he did CPR and stuff. And from that moment on, I just started, seeing spirits more, be able to communicate with them more. You know what I mean? I've dealt with that stuff my entire life. I lived for that stuff. My grandmother told me that I was an empath. Okay. And I believe that because I can see things, I can hear things, I can talk to them.
For you, what is the meaning of the word empath?
The meaning of impact? Well, where you can
Mhm.
see them, where you can communicate with them, where
Okay,
they can, I pretty much know.
that's cool.
Uh,
You've kind of partially answered the what of a given interview. Your initial experience, you found out that the abilities ran in your family.
yes, and
In
I'm
your
very sensitive.
particular case, just kind of touching back on what you said, that instead of being a curse handed it down from generation to generation because your one ancestor made a deal with the devil, so to speak,
Yeah,
you were given these powers by something divine and sent back.
yeah.
And so, do you feel that you've been cursed, or do you feel that you've been set free to do these?
The history of my grandmother was telling me of her mom, my great grandma. Uh, I believe we were close, but some people are not going to believe that. Which
Mm,
it really doesn't matter. But I know what my grandmother told me about the history and stuff, and so I believe that it's combined between curse and the ability of God gave me, or the voice I talk to. I believe it's
okay.
God. You know.
Let's get into how you go about experiencing paranormal cases. When you come to a paranormal case, you do have these empathic or these natural abilities that are outside of science. But you have made several comments about using certain tools, using
Yeah.
certain techniques, and how do you go about walking, say, this new house that you have? How will you investigate that house?
Well, usually I would walk in a room and not use my equipment yet. I would use my ability. You know what I mean? And stamp and because I'm very sensitive. I use that stuff more than I do anything. Okay.
Right.
Um, I know when they're around me. I know if they're evil. I know if they're good. You know what I mean? I would know how many and you know what I mean. Then when I want to, I can actually communicate with them without equipment, but
Hmm.
I like to use a RAM pod. I like to use a spirit box. You know what I mean?
Hmm. And for
Uh,
those that don't know what those tools are, what is a REM pod and what is a K2 meter?
okay, RAM pod is a equipment that you could just put on the floor or whatnot,
Hmm.
and the spirit has to come near it to make it go off. It's
Hmm.
like electric we call that.
A sensor.
Yeah, it just pretty much lets you know there's something around. That's paranormal.
Mhm.
And they have to come
And
near in order to go off.
exactly, and it because it has a certain tolerance. Just walking by the thing doesn't set it off. The
Yeah,
the entity, whatever activity may be there, it has to be in contact with that device. Is that
right,
right?
right.
Okay. And for your EMF meters or the K2 meter, which is a certain version of that, what does that measure?
The K2 meter, it's almost like the RAM pod.
Hmm.
Uh, it's got lights too, as well as the RAM pod does. And you hold the K2 meter in your hand and you walk around the room. Now, see the thing is with the K2 meters and stuff. If you have any microwaves or any oven, I mean any refrigerator or something like that around, that's gonna make it go off too.
Right.
But
It,
go ahead.
oh, I was going to say that an EMF meter is an electromagnetic
Right.
finder. It's
Yes.
almost like a stud finder
Yes.
that a carpenter uses. It's a tool that if you are near something that's electrically or
Right.
radio powerful, it'll pick up the signal.
Yes,
Now,
sir.
if you're away from that kind of stuff, you know, say like a plug or a wall
Right,
plug or a light fixture or something like that, and
right,
you are going up into the orange or even to the red,
right.
that that might indicate that there's
It's a
something with you.
lesson, yeah.
Hmm.
Well, well, if you say like for example, if it goes up to yellow,
Hmm.
that's a possibility, entity, a spirit. You know what I mean? If it goes up to red, it could be evil or something strong, but only if
Hmm.
you're not near anything electrical. You know, like
Very.
TVs or anything like that.
Now, you use your video cameras like you did on your trip to Gettysburg, and what do you hope to capture by using a low light camera or say something that sees into infrared like night vision, that kind of camera?
Well, I'm not really looking for any apparition or anything. I mean, really, what I'm doing basically is that I want to help the spirit, you know, I want to be the voice of a spirit. I want to be able to hear the story. You know what I mean? You know
Okay.
what I mean?
So the camera, it more or less is kind of like an avenue for them to approach you and express themselves.
Well, yes and no. Um, the camera is just to, just to record what I'm doing, record what's going on around me. You know what I mean? But I
Documentation.
want the spirit. They deserve to have their story told. You know what I mean? They deserve to have their story told on what happened to them. So I want to be their voice. I
All
want to
right.
be able to help them get their story out. You know what I mean?
Why don't you give us an example that you had there at either the Sachs Bridge or the Suicide Bridge?
What do you mean?
Remember when the one of the entities came up and touched you?
Yes.
Tell us about it.
Oh Lord Jesus. We want to talk about the suicide bridge. Oh boy, here we go. Uh, I'm not gonna lie. That place, I think that was the most scariest place I've ever been to. Okay,
Mhm.
yeah, the college, Omar College is scary, but I believe the suicide bridge was more scarier than the college because when I was sitting there doing my intro, okay, when I first drove up there with my friend, before I got there, Tim, before I got there, I could sense. You know what
Mhm.
I mean? I started having my anxiety before I even got there because I could sense that before I got there. You know what I mean? That
Right.
something was, there. I felt it. You know what I mean? And and I felt evil because my anxiety was right. Okay. So
Mhm.
when we got there and we parked, then my anxiety got a little bit more, a little bit more heavier because I got to the point where it just wasn't feeling right. Okay.
Mhm.
And so we sat there and I got out of the car and I started getting a creepiness feeling, in my gut. Like,
Mhm.
something's there, and it's watching me. Like I felt something follow me the whole time I was there. Okay.
Okay.
And I sat right there and did the intro and I was standing right there and I was trying to do my intro, but then all of a sudden something literally, I kid you not, touched my back. Okay. And when I felt that, it felt like a bad energy, not a good energy at all. It felt evil. Okay. Like
Mhm.
it scared the shit out of me because if you watch my video, I would look like I was about to cry. That's how scary it was. Okay.
So it affected you both
Yeah.
physically as well as emotionally.
Yeah. Figuratively and emotionally. I felt sad and I felt anger.
Okay.
Okay. At the same time.
So how did you balance what you were feeling with the documentation that you wanted to get to verify that there was something there?
I was happy. I was happy but I can, you know,
Mm-hmm.
communicate with them to get the story,
Right.
and you know what I mean. But I wasn't happy of the fact that what happened there. Okay, I
Right.
felt nothing but sadness, and I felt evilness,
Mm-hmm.
and I kid you not, when I was standing there on the bridge there, I happened to see a black figure, which was a black shadow, by the car. Okay, and if y'all watching, you hear me say I saw a black shadow. Okay, it was coming towards me.
Now, was your friend on the bridge with you at the time, or was he
Yeah,
in the car?
he was with me. He was with me. He was
Okay.
by the bridge with me. He was the one doing the camera. He was the one recording that stuff.
Right.
I was standing beside him. Trust
So
me, I would not fake my video. I don't
mhm.
believe in that. I don't believe in faking. It's not the best way to go.
How did you feel after the push or the touch that you felt was evil? Were you angry? Did you feel that you had been, attacked? What was your reaction?
Well, I felt like I was attacked, yes, because it felt evil. I felt the evil in it. I felt anger, but and
Hmm.
again, I also felt sad.
There is a lot of sadness in a place like that.
Yes,
Yes.
yes, because I feel like that um there was younger teenage that died there as well. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? Not like no 10 or I felt like a little child was there. Okay, like maybe 9, 10 years old. I felt there was a kid there as well, and it made me so sad. I'm like, why would a 10-year-old, you know what I mean, commit suicide? You know what I mean? Then I got to think, well, maybe something happened and it was an accident. You know what I mean, or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
All I know was not good.
Now, you also reacted very differently when you went to the different monuments there on the battlefield site, especially that big domed one when you took that tour out there.
Okay.
Uh, how did you feel? I mean, yes, it was cold and very breezy that day, but how did you feel when you were walking up there? You had a very interesting look on your face, almost like somebody was talking to you and you were trying to listen.
Right. Yes.
So,
I know what you're talking about. You're talking about that big old thing when you walk through it. Yeah.
yes.
Okay. Um. Yeah. That place also sad as well. I felt
Hmm.
sadness. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Um. Yes. There was somebody trying to talk to me, but sometimes it's hard to understand them. Okay.
I noticed that you felt immediately afterwards because you were very enthusiastic as you were going up into the monument, and then after a quick tour, your whole mood just changed, and it was like you were barely standing up by the time you ended up taking a break and sitting on the steps.
Right.
And my my question out of that was did you feel anything from the monument itself, from the battlefield, or was that voice that you say was talking to you? Were you reacting to that?
Actually, I was reacting to both because, like I said, I felt sad and I could
Mhm.
feel the pain.
Oh
I
yeah.
could feel the pain of the soldiers. Okay, like you know how when you're in a civil war, you get shot and all that. I
Mhm.
felt their pain. I felt I don't know. It just was not a good feeling. It just I could feel that the pain before they died.
And when you had that reaction, I mean, you look so exhausted, and your friend came over and kind of talk to you a little bit, and you eventually made your way back to the car. Afterwards,
Yeah,
you
because
went.
it took my energy.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it took my energy a lot of my energy. By the time I left that place, I was really tired.
How did you build back your energy?
When I got out of the battlefield and was on the road, that's when I started feeling better.
Very interesting, because I did see you perk up quite a bit when you were doing the tour elsewhere, and this was before you went to the one lady's house that she took a cannonball.
Yeah, Jenny Wade, yes.
Yeah. So, did you pick up anything at Jenna Wade's house?
Actually, yes. I'm glad you mentioned that because nobody ever asked me questions. You know what I mean? Nobody ever interviewed me, so I don't never really talk about it. But now that you are, I'm glad that you are because now I can talk about it. You know what I mean?
Not a problem.
I appreciate you doing that for me. So, even though it's my channel, but really, it don't matter because I would rather someone to interview me. Yeah, I didn't get out of the car at first when we went to the Jenny Wade house. My friend did, but then something not in the car. I was in the car. Something draws me out. Okay. So I said, I'm going to go up here and tell the story, because something brought me out of the car. And I got out of the car, and before I even got to her property there, I felt anxiety again because I'm very sensitive, and I can sense that stuff even if I'm a mile away. You know what I mean? So we got up there, and I seen her statue, and everything. I just started feeling her pain, like when she was shot. Like it was so dramatic how she was killed. You know what I mean? I could just feel it because she was in that house. Okay, back in I believe it was in the 1800s when they had the Civil War, and right there outside the house, it used to be a battlefield. It used to be a field. You know what I mean? For the Civil War, I believe.
Right.
And they were there was somebody outside her house, and they were trying to get them. Instead, it went through the front door into another room, and it got her on her back, and it instantly killed her.
Right.
And when they killed her, they took her body into the cellar because at the time they didn't have nowhere to put her at that time, so they put her in the basement, the cellar they call it.
Right.
But I could feel her energy. I could feel her there. Like it was sad. Like I felt her sadness because she was pregnant too before she died. She was 20 years old when she died, and she was pregnant by a man that was in a Civil War, and I believe his name was Jackson.
Yeah. And stories like that are very powerful because it hits you on that personal level that when you experience a person's sudden change, like you said, she died instantly, and it was a case where that sensation leaves itself literally in the structure of the house or in the ground,
Right.
And I wanted to touch on professional paranormal research's point. He said that, Patty, I would like to offer you a VIP paranormal adventure at Fort Duffield in Kentucky if you're ever passing through. That's very kind of him and very generous.
Hold on, let me read that. Man, I would like to offer you a VIP paranormal adventure at Fort
Duffield.
Hey, that's awesome, paranormal research. I would appreciate that. That would be good. I definitely would be good. That definitely would be good.
And touching on that, because professional paranormal research seems to really have a good scientific base to what they do. And I'm not a scientist. I have an interest in science, but at the same time, I do have those abilities, like you say. I don't brag about them. It's just like, it's just like having, a hand. Do I talk about my hand? You don't. It's just there. And so those kind of abilities give you the opportunity to get insight where you may not be able to research it, you may not be able to debunk it, and it's a very keen thing that I like the fact that you're combining both techniques, the scientific and the shall we say psychic or empathic ability to get a balance, for what those stories are.
Right.
And it's PPR did say that Fort Duffield is the largest, most well-preserved natural earthen Civil War bunker in the country, with 3 buildings and a cemetery on a mountaintop. So that would indicate that it has a lot of structure, a lot of geology. As you know, water and limestone are magnets to paranormal research. Hi, Dee Dee.
Hi, Double D. Right. That would be something I'll be interested in, paranormal research. Definitely.
That's very good. Very, very good. And of course, you have your bucket list of once you get settled into Pennsylvania. Right. I mean, we've talked about, between you and I, some of the ones that I've recommended to you. You want to go to Pennhurst. You want to go to Pennsylvania State Hospital. Yeah. I mean, there's just place after place after place in Pennsylvania. And it's a case where I think you're going to be in a kind of a playground. You can pick which one you want to take a ride on.
Hang on a second. Take over for a second.
Mm-hmm. And for Double D and the others joining us in chat, I'm Star Trek Eggsy, a friend of Patty's, and you've known me as Loud Mime in the past, and I just like changing my name from time to time. She has been very generous and very kind to let me interview her, and I've done podcasts for several years. I was part of a network at podcast1.com. And then I did 28 years of terrestrial broadcast radio. And so it comes naturally to me. And if you guys ever want to interview me or me interview you, just hit me up on my channel. It's right now it's under my name. It's Star Trek Eggsy HTD for life, and would welcome any kind of talk with anybody, especially Eli, PPR, definitely, and Double D. He's been amazing in other people's chats. I really appreciate. I really appreciate all of y'all for what you do. In my region, I'm in Northwest Illinois. I'm exactly halfway between Des Moines and Chicago, St. Paul and St. Louis. And in that bullseye there, we have an amazing layout of paranormal here in the metro area. I have seen things, I've heard things, I've encountered things, been attacked by things. I know a lot of the history of this area. I go back 7 generations in my family here, and so it's great when you know the lay of the land literally. PPR says, I was honored when they asked me to be on their committee, and yes, I agree. Then he also says, at the point where 2 rivers join, the Salt River and Ohio River also. The conjoining of 2 bodies of water is a very, very powerful thing. If you ever have done any watching of YouTube, look up the Missouri and Mississippi. They don't mix when they get together in St. Louis. They actually stay separate for almost 60 miles before they finally mix together. And when the Ohio becomes part of the Mississippi, then it becomes an even different kind of body of water. Double D, can I ask what area of the country you're from? And if Eli's still here, aren't you out on the West Coast?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, there she is.
I'm back. I'm sorry I'm being back, but it wasn't working right.
Not a problem. I was just keeping a little banter going and asking PPR a couple of questions.
Yeah, I had a phone call. I'm so sorry.
Oh, you're fine. Double D says that he's from Florida.
Yeah, that's what I tried to tell you from Florida, but you couldn't hear me.
Now, Double D is, as you know yourself from visiting Omar, Florida is amazing in its history.
Yes, it is.
And it has a lot to do with the water, because the entire south half of the peninsula of Florida is basically a water system. That's why the Everglades exist, because it naturally cleans that entire aquifer, as they call it, the body of water that's underneath Florida. And those sinkholes and springs are absolutely gorgeous, Now, the only question that we would have left in our interview, Patty, would be, once you get settled in, what kind of things would you want to do differently? What kind of things do you want to do better?
My channel's gonna be a lot better. I'm gonna change my look. I'm gonna do a whole new makeover. It's gonna be more videos because I'm gonna be doing family vlogs and paranormal as well. It's gonna be more videos than I am live. I'm gonna probably do live maybe once or twice a week. So it's gonna be a whole new changing for me, a whole new world, and over in time we're gonna be going to a lot of places. You know what I mean? We're gonna travel the world in time. As time goes, we're gonna travel to places.
Absolutely, and that's why it's like Bobby with Rolling With Me. He has kind of gotten into a kind of a funk because he's got some income issues right now, and he's not alone. you know, but at the same time, hey, it's his, you know, issues that he's got, and he's just looking for a way to be creative, you know, to have some fun, take a break from all the, you know, the financial stuff.
Right.
And it's a case where I'm glad PPR has offered VIP pass for me as well. That's very, very kind of you, PPR. I'm one of those that I'm Mr. Broke Down body, spirit's willing, but the body isn't. But if I could get down there to Kentucky, I really enjoy the state. You have a beautiful, beautiful state down there. One of my favorite trips, Patty, was to Louisville. You know,
Yeah.
and I had somebody from Chicago say he committed the original sin for Kentuckians and said it was Louisville. Okay, I had to break it down for him. I said, dude, you couldn't set foot in that city unless you say Louisville. And he goes, well, what's the difference? I said, it's all the difference in the world to a person from Louisville. That's where Waverly Sanatorium is. And if you come to Waverly or Louisville, you will see the Ohio River.
Yeah,
Louisville.
we're going to Waverly Hills Sanatorium too.
Oh, sweetheart, I can tell you, it dominates. It sits up on the ridge right above the city proper, right downtown, and it looks like stair steps right down to the Ohio.
That's fine. Yeah, we're planning on going there too. So.
Oh yeah.
We're planning on going a lot of places. You know what I mean? We're going to go to Connecticut. We're going to go to New York, California, Colorado, Las Vegas, Nevada, Baltimore, Massachusetts. We're going everywhere.
That sounds great. And it's like, I'm glad that you are also taking kind of a variety channel plan for your move to Pennsylvania. Because, you know, hey, you have to change up every once in a while, you know?
Yeah, I'm going to change it to paranormal and family as well.
Sure. I mean, I would love to see what your favorite family recipe is.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I remember your reaction and Purple Crayon's reaction to my family's recipe for meatloaf.
Oh, yeah, I love meatloaf.
Yeah. Do you remember that? That you make it in a bundt cake pan? Because you put the layer of meat first, and then you put Velveeta inside.
Yeah, he wants you a link to your channel.
Oh, sure. Now, PPR, just a note. All you have to do is click on your own name there and just copy the your link from YouTube, and you can pop it into the chat. That's what I.
Hey, Stephanie, how are you?
Hi, Stephanie. And you know, you see, you did a half-an-hour interview in one go, without even thinking about it. So, Patty, you're a natural.
I'm a natural.
You are a natural. You got personality, you got presence, and people want to hear your stories. Okay?
Well, I appreciate it.
Well, that's you know, one of the things that I really enjoy. You know, it's like PPR just volunteered that he's about 25 minutes from Louisville. And I have to share with PPR that Louisville is a fantastic cosmopolitan city. It's a great town. But you get up over the ridge into the little villages just south of there, especially in Bowling Green, you need a Southern to English dictionary. Okay? because I went to a Wendy's for breakfast. I had never heard of Wendy's having
You're welcome,
breakfast before.
Stephanie.
Yeah, I had never heard of Wendy's breakfast, and I walked in, and cutest little girl is behind the counter, and she says something that said something like "Whisket" at the end, and I go, and I had to have her repeat it like 4 times, and she goes, she was basically trying to offer me a free biscuit, and I'm going, yeah, I'd like to have a free biscuit. So I bought, a couple items, and I was buying for my dad as well. And my dad was waiting back in the motel room, and he goes, "What took you so long?" I said, "I had to talk to the person." And he goes, "Well, shouldn't have been that hard. Is she foreigner?" "No, we are." Because to us, to us, she sounds like an alien. To her, we're damn Yankees. Okay. So, guys, I really, really appreciate everybody giving Patty all the love and support and a feeling of community. She's a sister to me, and so's Purple Crayons. I really, really enjoy their company. I think that they have a great sense of humor, big hearts, and, guys, a little kindness stretches so far, especially in this day and age. I mean, if we can bring out, say, what Patty wants to do, tell the stories of those people that are gone, and
That's what I want. I'm the voice, and I want to hear their story, and I want the whole world to hear their story. That's
mhm,
why I do that. That's why I do the channel. I do my YouTube channel, not because of money, not because of donation, not because of members. I do it because I want to be the voice of all the unknowns out there. They deserve a voice. They deserve for their story to be told. You know what I mean? And they deserve to be very respected. No one should disrespect no spirits at all. People
mhm.
should respect the spirits no matter what. Because
You know,
they were human beings at one time. They were like me and you at one time. And then
yeah,
when they passed away and gone, they're a spirit now. But it don't matter. In my heart, they're still like me and you.
mhm.
And they deserve to be told. They deserve their story to be told.
It's like the story of Richard III. Okay, he was king of England back in the 1480s. He was a very terrible person by all accounts. He murdered his own brother to get the throne. He took his brother's sons, his nephews, and stuck them in the Tower of London, which was the big prison at the time. And they disappeared. They were actually the heirs to the throne. And he ended up getting killed in a battle. The only way we knew him was because of the bad press that he had. And then Shakespeare, about 150 years later, around 1610, came up with the Shakespeare play, Richard III, and they portrayed him as a total monster. Okay. Come to find out, underneath the parking lot of a church that sits on the battlefield site of where Richard III was killed, he was buried right there. And so they removed the bones, brought them to Canterbury Abbey, and they took a long scientific test. They now figure that this man was mentally ill. He was diseased. He was not a healthy person. It doesn't excuse that he killed his own brother and nephews, but it does maybe help explain why he did it.
Yeah,
And
paranormal research. I want to go to Bobby's Matthews too.
I caution you, if you go, it's you need to get prepared.
I know, baby.
Rob and Kate from UGUE, they just got back. And
yeah, I know. I didn't see that video. I'm gonna have to watch it.
they started in the apartment.
Yeah,
Okay.
with that guy with the desk. Yeah.
Yeah, Clay Lawson.
Yeah,
He was convinced that there was a demon in the building.
I know what it was.
Yeah, and he ended up taking his own life in that apartment.
I know.
Yeah. So
I watched Joseph Venture's video Bobby's Massey. I learned the history of it.
Yep. PPR, you want to try to hit me up on Twitter. I am the, all capital letters, the Yodeling Mime. And so if you want to get a hold of me, or you can just contact Patty and she can route you to me. So, Pat, what kind of questions would you have for me this time around?
Oh, I've done asked you all kind of questions. I already did interviewed you. I done interviewed you. I just wanted somebody to interview me because my story deserves to be told too.
Everybody has a story.
Yeah, you know? everybody's story deserves to be heard.
Exactly. I mean, I have stories that'll curl your hair, maybe make you bust a gut laughing, maybe actually make you, sad because, wow, that happened. And how did you come back?
I got a story to make your turkey ball grow.
Very true. You'll grow hair on fresh turkey balls.
I got a lot of experience that I went through growing up from age 7 and up. That will make your turkey ball grow hair fast.
I still think that those little backpacks would be awesome with your logo on it, and they're turkey ball sacks. I've actually priced them. You could get them off of places like Amazon, Etsy, eBay. You can get them for a pretty penny, and you get a whole bunch of them. So whether you stick a sticker on them or you emboss it with turkey balls, somebody would have a little backpack carrying around saying, "I've got a turkey ball sack."
Yeah. But I appreciate you interviewing me, though. I mean, at least somebody did. I ain't got interviewed in a while.
Mm-hmm. And PPR, I would be doing about the same format that you would be doing on my own channel. I don't have a format yet set down, but definitely what you heard here was a taste. And Patty, anytime. I've got 30 years experience in this. I've talked to hundreds of people on the phone, in person. I've talked to senators. I've talked to the Vice President of the United States. I talked to Lech Walesa, who was at the time the leader of Solidarity that brought democracy to Poland back in the 1980s. I got to meet some very interesting people. I think the neatest person I talked to was Michael Jordan.
Oh, that's cool.
I was working an overnight shift at a top 40 station in my area. We were the #1 station at the time, and I was busy getting the news. Now, this was long ago enough. We didn't have computers then. We had news wires, automatic typewriters from like the AP, the UPI, stuff like that. And so I'm ripping all these stories off for the morning guys, and suddenly I get a phone call, It's about 2:30 in the morning, and guy says, "Hey, I'm in the college town about an hour west of you, and there's going to be an exhibition game between the college team and the Chicago Bulls." And this was back in the early '90s during the Dream Team era, and Michael Jordan was part of the team. And I said, "Well, we were aware we were going to have something, to an on-air special about it." He says, "Well, how about if I can set you up with talking to Michael Jordan?" And I said, "You're a member of the hotel, and you're telling me that you can hook me up with Michael Jordan?" He says, "Yeah, but I get breakfast with your morning guys." And I said, "Well, I can't make any promises. How about you put some proof in your pudding here?" And 5 minutes later, I'm talking to a very sleepy Michael Jordan. And I apologized for disturbing him because they just got into the hotel. And he was very kind, and he agreed right away to do an interview with the guys. He says, "Please just let me get a couple hours sleep." And I said, "Sir, we will contact you probably about 8:30 in the morning. That way it gives you at least 4 or 5 hours." And he says, "Perfect." And sure enough, that guy got his breakfast.
Cool.
So that was a pretty fun time, And PPR says he's got 35 years in on this kind of thing. Mm-hmm. So we're in good company, Patty. Now, what would scare you more, a ghost or a Bigfoot?
Do what now?
What would scare you more, a ghost or Bigfoot?
Bigfoot. Absolutely. I would not go near Bigfoot. I'm good.
Well, by all accounts, that is perfectly true. You hit it on the nose because, first of all, a ghost can only, scare you. A Bigfoot can chase you, And
you too. They can scratch you, they can push you, but that don't scare me as much as Bigfoot does. Bigfoot, get near him, would scare the shit out of me. I'll be shitting the cookie balls out of my asshole.
Well, they had a video just a couple weeks ago. I think it was Slapped Ham that had this one. They showed Bigfoot grabbing a hold of a 12-foot tree in a state park in Florida, not far from where Omar's resort is, where you were staying. And it bent the tree over. This is a 5-inch thick tree. Okay. Now it would take an end loader to bend that tree over. Okay. So that's the power of this thing. And after it snapped, it stripped the bark off, started eating it. But then the guy's dogs started making noise. And of course, it dropped everything and ran into the swamp. So it's like, man,
hey,
can you imagine? Oh, hi, Chris. And PPR agrees that that was very awesome. Yeah, I would be very impressed as well. So, you know what, Patty, if it's no never minds, can I maybe jump back into chat with PPR and have you go from here?
Yes.
Not a problem. I always enjoy being up on panel, but I don't want to chance StreamYard getting my phone. It hates my phone for some reason. So,
okay.
All right. Well, you take care, and I'll see you in chat. Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Bye bye.
Okay, guys. Yeah, that was pretty well. Good. Well, now people know. Now people will hear my story. Right. Oh, I'm not scared of no demon. I'm not scared of no ghost whatsoever. But I will not go near Bigfoot though. But I'm not afraid of no ghost. I'm not afraid of no demon. I'll kick that ghostly demon ball's ass. But I want to thank you, Paranormal Research, for the opportunity of that VIP. Well, I know that, Tim. I know that. I absolutely know that already. But guy, my phone's going dead. It's 25%. I just want to get on here for a while and hop and talk to everybody. Thank you for the interview and me, Tim, and Paranormal Research. Have a good night. I love you all. Be safe. And don't forget to like, share, subscribe if you haven't. And comment down below and let me know what you thought about the live or whatever. But be safe, y'all. Bye, Tim.